Love listening to those before I go to bed. Oh yeah, I was going to do shoutouts to the nice comments we got. Amanda EK said, love listening to these before I go to bed. Awesome food for thought and discussion. Smiley. So that's another thing. If you guys want to get a shout out from leaving nice comments or like little mini reviews, leave them in the Hylian Gamescast Discord thing and tag one of us, and we will read them out at the beginning of the show, which was something I was meant to do. I had some gathered up, but I forgot. I love your videos. Just joined the Discord. Where do you guys do the podcast, Chris? I would like to be
that one's from Mike.
Yeah, watch your videos every day. Yeah, so there was the one from Mike and the one from Amanda that left nice comments. If you can stream your Switch to your PC, you can already do VR on Switch. Do you have the Sun to be your new family? Yes, I really want to see Bergson review burgers. It's false advertising. Going to drag you into our Planet Hyrule debate on Thread, which is entire. And God, there are really no good questions left. So I will make up my own question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what are your guys' favorite and worst Zelda theories?
Oh my god.
I don't think, because those are like the most popular mailbag videos we've had. So I want to ask you guys, since I don't think you were on the channel. So who wants to go first?
I'm sorry, you'll have to ask that again. I was talking to Gibbs about hats in the chat.
Okay. Favorite and worst Zelda theories. Or favorite and least favorite. Because those were the most popular mailbag things that we had, so obviously people like to hear us talk about it, so we're ending it with, what is your favorite, least favorite Zelda theories?
People are already writing, Link is dead.
Yeah. Alright, so
Worst.
who wants to go first?
I feel like all my favorites
See, we have
are like not theories, but they're confirmed.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, but there are 44 people in the chat. While I was counting down from 10, nobody wanted their question to be answered, but now everybody's replying to the Zelda theory thing. Yeah, but like everyone's replying with the Link is dead thing. So it's like there's people being active, but nobody wanted their question answered. It's weird.
Oh.
So
Wayne Z says girls with glasses rock. Therefore, Kayla and I rock.
I want to be a
yeah.
girl with glasses.
Get on our level, Jesse.
Yeah, sorry. Alright,
Geeks all the way.
any of you want to go first?
Okay. So, because we were actually talking about this in the podcast earlier, my least favorite would be that Link and Zelda are, like, separated twins.
From birth and Ocarina of Time. I was a hardcore fan of it for a long time.
I didn't even know that
I renounced it.
I didn't know it was either. Like, there was someone that said something about Ganondorf being or Link's father in Ocarina of Time, and I was like...
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I was like...
that was part of my question that I asked on one of those podcasts.
Oh,
I was
that
like,
the same one?
Theory's worse.
Yeah, I remembered it, and I was like, is that a theory?
And Daniel was like, why
People?
are you this?
Yeah.
I think my favorite theory, just because it's just really, like, out there and crazy, would be, people think that... What are you laughing about?
I just remembered, I checked earlier, there was, like, some people watching on Twitch, because we dual stream.
Yeah.
And, like, last night, playing Fortnite, there was, like, 5-6 people in the chat. It got up to, like, 8 people. So, like, for the Gamescast, there's probably even more people, and we just ignored them the entire time.
I actually didn't really notice because you mentioned that, like, someone was there and they're like, am I the only one watching? And you're like, oh, we answer stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, like, I posted a link, but...
Yeah.
So, it would be... I can't remember where I heard this from, but someone was saying that, is it Agatha?
Mm-hmm. Bug Lady?
That she is Zelda's schizophrenic sister.
Oh, yeah.
That is such a cool theory.
Yeah,
I
really like that one. I think it's really fun because she's just such an out there character and she's just so weird. You don't really expect her when you wander into her and you're like...
I thought about doing my own research, like playing through the game to like get all the information and stuff.
Yeah.
To do our own version of that theory. So yeah, that'd be after E3 though. Like the videos I have planned, I don't have too long because I want to do them all before E3. But yeah, I like that because it suggests like how does she get all this money? Why does she live so close to the castle and all this stuff?
Exactly.
And then it makes perfect sense if she's just like Zelda's sister. So, but you said you liked it as well, Ilya?
I do love that theory, and I'm trying to think, would certain ships count as theories?
Yeah, because like
Who are you
And I
shipping
have a
and
lot.
why?
Malin and Link are like that's the most believable
Yeah.
ship in Ocarina of Time because it's either her, a fish, or a princess. And
Yeah, based on the very small town of Hyrule.
yeah,
I'd say because I also really like a lot of I like the thought that goes into the Tetraforce theory.
oh yeah.
I mean, I know it's kind of been disproven by Nintendo. Like they're like, no.
Did you
this
play
is
Breath
not
of the Wild?
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't defeated Ganondorf. I'm working
Have
on side
you-
quests right now, but I've done
So,
all the.
One
Four
of the
divine
side
beasts.
quests takes you to the Forgotten Temple,
Yeah,
and there's the
and I'm like,
Tetraforce hints in the Forgotten Temple.
there's so much cool information behind it. So I'd say it's probably either that one as, or the one that he married Milan,
Yeah.
and because it makes sense. I mean, I would say probably the Tetraforce theory more, so just because of how much information goes into this, and I just think it's really, really cool, especially with like Lorule and everything. Least favorite? There are so many ships I cannot stand. Just because to me they make absolutely no sense.
Link and Groose.
Oh god, I didn't even know that was one.
That's a ship because I ship it.
No.
Please.
Let me just go through the list of ones I don't like. Link and Zelda Twilight Princess, Link and Zelda, Link and Midna, Link and Sidon, Link and Mifa. I'm like,
Link and Sidon.
I'm just like, he's a fish. Not even going into other things, he's a fish. Mifa is
yes.
a fish.
Timothy agrees. Link and Sidon. Thank you. My man.
Oh. The only time I ship Link and Zelda, Skyward Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the ships I cannot stand, and they clutter up my Pinterest because I'll pin Sidon things because I think Sidon is awesome, and then I get all of those, and I'm like, no, I'd rather see the Midna ones again. Yeah, I'm just weird like that. So that's favorite is Tetraforce, least favorite is like the ships. But then again, I've been guilty of them too, so kind of hypocritical.
What about you, Jesse?
Did you give best and worst?
Yeah.
Okay, so for right now, I haven't really done a full video on it. I want to, but there's a theory that I came up with on the spot when Daniel and I were talking about, like we did something similar to where I asked, can we do our own questions? Where he asked a question, I asked a question, and mine ended up being something that got off topic, and it was a theory about the spiritual stone, the forest, I forgot the name of it, the Kakiri Emerald, being held inside the forest temple, and it usually, like, because it looks like a home,
I remember this
sort of,
podcast.
yeah, and like the Kakiri or the Koroks would have lived there before Kakiri Forest, and then, or someone would have lived there, and then you have the bottom of it, which is actually like a dungeon instead of like a house, and there's a bunch of mazes inside of the forest temple and stuff, and it's like all of this is built to protect the Kakiri Emerald is the theory that I came up with, because no one can go into the forest or the Lost Woods without turning into the Stalfos. So it's like you have different layers of protection. You have the forest, which no one can get past, but if they do manage to get past it, then you also have this giant fortress, basically. And then Ganondorf, seen, like he wasn't able to get the Kokiri Emerald from the Deku Tree because he wasn't able to go through the forest. He wasn't able to go through the forest temple to get the Kokiri Emerald, so he poisoned the tree. But then once he had the Triforce of Power, he, as like, you didn't give me the thing, so as like a big FU, not only am I going to curse the Kokiri Forest to have like Deku Babas and evil Deku Scrubs and everything attacking, but I'm also going to put a version of myself inside the place that I wasn't able to get to before. So that's why Phantom Ganon, and not some random creature or beast, is the boss of the Forest Temple. Because he wasn't able to get in there, so once he had power to get in there, he was just like, here's like a evil phantom ghost version of myself. So that's a theory that I want to make into a video, but I haven't yet. But I want to.
You better do that soon. Oh my goodness.
Someone's gonna steal it.
And worst is just Link is dead, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Link is
I've
dead.
said it a billion times, but when Nintendo themselves, like, not just one of them, but like Aonuma and Miyamoto, both come out and literally say you're playing the game wrong, if you believe the theory, then like not only are they saying no, it's not true, which they have said, but they're like literally saying if you believe this, you are playing it wrong, which is kind of funny.
They're just calling everyone out for being dumb.
And then they went on saying that although it is interesting that people can interpret each area corresponding with one of the 5 stages of grief, you're only looking at it in one way. If you look at it the way that they intended, then you would see multiple emotions in each of the areas. So like each of the area you can go to, and there'll be a lot of people that are mad about something, a lot of people that are depressed about something, a lot of people that end up being happy about something. So like in Icona Valley, there's like the family that you have to protect, and at first it's kind of sad because the dad was turned into the what was it, the Gibdo. So and then once you save them, they're happy and grateful, but then you have right next to it is one of the Poe brothers who is like vengeful and angry and spiteful. And then you have an Icona Castle. There are characters that basically just want forgiveness or whatever. So it's like an Icona Valley, which is supposed to be based off of just one single emotion, which is what the theory suggests. There's actually tons of different emotions. So, and that's the same for every area. So, Aonuma, whenever, I think it was Aonuma, it might have been one of the other people, said if you play through the game and you only put one emotion, then you're literally playing through the game wrong, because you're not seeing all of the other emotion that they worked on to put in each of these characters at each of the areas. And then there's the obvious thing that's like, if Link died as a child before Majora's Mask begins, how is he an adult skeleton in Twilight Princess? How does he, if he dies as a child, how does he get married and have a kid?
Exactly.
How does his body end up being buried next to Hyrule Castle in Twilight Princess if he died somewhere else? So it's like Twilight Princess alone disproves the theory. And then like in the theory, he even uses Twilight Princess as an example as why it's right, where he's like, he's a skeleton in Twilight Princess because he died, and when you die, your body turns into a skeleton. It's like, well, if that was true, the hero shade would be like 3 feet tall in Twilight Princess, not
it
a
would
full
be towering
adult.
over Twilight Princess Link.
Yeah. So, like, the whole theory is just stupid. In one of the videos, I even, like, got really close to the microphone like this and said that if you, which I'll say again, if you actually believe the Link is dead theory, please unsubscribe. We don't want stupid people here.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my current favorite, because it changes, and the worst theory. So
I think that was a pretty good self-picked question.
yeah.
Yep.
With that, we are all shots fired. I've been saying it for years and years, Jacob. If he's dead as a child, he'd be a stall child, not a Stolfos.
He'd be a
Well,
okay.
either way, he'd be like a child skeleton, not an adult skeleton. But with that said, everybody, thank you for watching the I forgot the name of the podcast. So long, I forget. I say so much. I'm usually a quiet person. Yeah, I'm usually a quiet person. So
I was gonna say, Jesse's been doing a lot of talking this podcast.
Daniel's not here. He's the usual
Yeah.
co-host person. Anyways, this has been the Hylians Gamescast episode. What Jesse is dead to me. Alright.
That's a good episode.
This has been the Hylians Gamescast episode 33, I believe. This was the Zelda Mailbag. Earlier we talked about all sorts of news, which you can also find on the channel, about the new Pokemon game on Switch, about potential new Zelda, Star Fox. Other stuff was mentioned for some reason. Link's crossbow training. Cross your fingers for a sequel. So we covered a lot of really cool news. Go check those out. We talked about the top 5 Zelda games that deserve sequels. Go check those out. And if you've watched the video this whole way through, whether it was live or the full episode of the Zelda Mailbag, you're probably a huge fan of the podcast, which if you are, go check out our Patreon channel where you can suggest topics and questions, or you can head over to teespring.com/GameOverJesse new to buy our new shirt, which is really cool. Daniel, Kayla, and I will all be wearing it around E3 time, so I gotta take them their shirts, and then after E3 maybe we'll do podcasts or episodes where we're sporting the shirts, so go check them out. Be a cool kid, and thank you for watching. And I almost forgot. Kayla,
Yes.
who are you?
Ah.
Why should people care about you? And where can they follow you?
Okay, well, I'm Kayla. You can find me as Chublima on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I'm gonna keep saying RuneScape. None of you guys have added me, and I'm really offended. I'm also the co-host to Jesse's show. And yeah.
You have a new job with the channel as well.
Oh, yeah, I do. So if you guys are following our Facebook page, I don't remember what it's called.
It's just Zelda News and Theories, but it's
Yes.
it was
So
made
Zelda News and Theories.
it was made slightly before the YouTube channel got popular, but it's
Okay.
facebook.com/GameOverJesse. So just search GameOverJesse. There is a Facebook group with about 1,000 people, and then there is a Facebook page that you can go and like that posts all sorts of Zelda memes and questions and cool stuff.
Yeah, so come check that out because I
Yeah.
post on there daily now. I'm posting memes, questions. I'll upload there as well anytime that video or Jesse has a new video that he's uploaded to his channel. So yeah,
Alright.
come back. Let's chat about theories and stuff.
So again, Twitter everywhere is Chublima.
Everywhere is Chublima now.
Alright, and Ilya, where can people find you aside from Hyrule?
Aside from Hyrule.
So is that, I want to ask, is that from Twilight Princess Ilya?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I was really into Twilight Princess when I came
Because
up
I
with
had
the
that
name.
reference in one of the scripts
So-
and I didn't know.
Yep. That was actually why. Yeah. So that was when I signed up for. Elia Rose, horse emoji, rose emoji, hashtag Secret Zeldas. You can find me on Twitter. I don't post there often. I mainly am on there to follow other YouTubers at Rose_Elia. That's just how it came up. I don't know why. Instagram, Elia Rose_Geek Apprentice. And YouTube, I have a solid 2 videos, one with a giant water that basically say I'm gonna post videos eventually. So just Elia Rose. I think it's 2 words on there, but you'll recognize my face. That is where you find me. I post pictures on Instagram of nerdy things, honestly.
Nice.
So, yeah,
I think I
don't
need
do
to
much
follow-
yet, but I will.
I don't know if I'm following you on Instagram.
I'm
So I guess I
following you
need
on
to.
Instagram.
Alright. I'm not
I
following...
just started following Kayla on Twitter because I follow her before.
Yeah. I had an issue to where on Twitter, I assumed anyone that was following me were fans of my YouTube channel, so I would just follow back instantly everyone that followed me. And I started doing the same thing on Twitter, but when you do that, you follow back a bunch of either fake accounts, or there are accounts where it's someone that's famous, and they're just following like hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you look and they have like 1 million followers, but then they got like 1 million people they're following.
Yeah.
Or the bad thing that's happened lately is I'll follow someone back, and then one day I'll be scrolling through my feed and they'll be like basically porn, and then I'll have to go through and unfollow them because some cam girl or porn person. Yeah, and then it gets really bad because my little brother likes to get on my iPad and like scroll through, so I gotta make sure it's clean.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of my channel and you followed me and I haven't followed you back, that is why. I stopped following back people because of this. But if you do want me to follow you, just message me, tell me you like my videos or something, and then that usually gets an instant follow. So yeah, but yeah. Game Theory podcast dies in Majora's Mask. Yeah, who was it? There was, he was kicked from the Discord because he was such a troll. Although I want him back in, but the admins don't, so.
Rip.
Yeah. What was his name, though? Korean Bats. In the Discord. He's,
I don't think I met Korean Bats.
yeah, he was too much of a troll. It offended some people. So he was kicked out. But I was a fan of his. All of his great Zelda memes. And then he always trolls me on Twitter. So when I ask a question, like, there was one time I posted, like, why did the Kuko cross the road? And then he replied to it and was like, because Link died in Majora's Mask.
Oh, that's what that was. I saw that response.
Because he knows how much we all hate, or at least I and Daniel hate the Link is dead theory.
Well, yeah.
So he always replies with like, because Link died in Majora's Mask. Or if we're talking about something, like what happens at the end of Infinity War, he'll say like, Iron Man dies in Majora's Mask. Like he'll just take something random and mix it with Link being dead in Majora's Mask.
What
So-
a jerk.
Yeah, not saying whether or not Iron Man does die in
Right.
Infinity War. So, yeah, I was
Your
just
soul dies, Infinity War. Everyone
yeah.
die.
Alright, guys.
So yeah, follow Jablima, follow Rose_Ilia, follow GameOverJesse. Thank you to the 30 people who are still watching us talk about nonsense. Good night to the people that fell asleep watching. And we
Fair.
are out. Buy a shirt.